David Feldman with the ACME Kitchen Crate. Wanted to show you different products in what I consider the cast iron range and the carbon steels. So you have a couple different options when it comes to cast iron. You can do a natural cast iron or an enameled cast iron. These are really special pans from a company called Smithy. These are made in the US. Everything is polished, so you get a nice, really smooth surface on the interior. It's really good. It makes this almost kind of like a bit more of a non-stick than the more traditional pebbled surfaces. Great for making, cornbread and things that are going in the oven. And then when you're doing cooktop stuff, that's when I tend to go more towards either the enameled or carbon steel pans. The carbon steel pans, you're going to get something that's going to be a lot more lightweight and easy to maneuver for a similar size pan, although this is still a hefty pan. And that allows you to have really good heat retention because it's a very thick piece. This is also made by Smithy, and this is also a hand-hammered pan. So this is really almost like a heritage kind of piece. One of the things that's great with these types of cast iron and carbon steel is this is a pan that you pass down for generations. So I don't mind putting something a little more expensive that's a hand-hammered finish because this pan's going to last you forever. And so I'm including this in two different sizes. We got the little skillet, a more traditional 12-inch cast iron, and then the everyday pan. This is really when you're working with anything that's acidic. So if you're doing tomato sauces, Italian cooking, things like that, you're using lemon. That you don't really want to do that in the carbon steel or the cast iron because it's going to break down the seasoning that's on these pans. So that's where the enamel pan is good. And I really like this one. This is the everyday pan from Le Creuset. And so it's a really good versatile piece. You've got two handles, so it's less counter space and using space on the cooktop than you have a more traditional skillet with a full handle coming out. And this is really great for if you want to sear off some chicken and then one pot, throw the sauce in there, things like that, and then it's a good enough looking pan that you can serve it right table side. So this is a really great piece for one pot meals, in a cast iron product. An accessory that I have for the skillet is if you want to do for cooking pancakes or flapjacks, things like that, having a griddle. And so this is actually a griddle lid, so that way it can act as the lid for the cast iron, or is also now a griddle if you use it separately on its own. So it's a kind of nice little two-in-one product, which I really like. And then a untraditional one is the DeMeyer Atlantis 7. So this is a stainless pan, but it is a thick, heavy stainless pan. And so in using these pans, I had kind of discovered that I don't like using this as I would a traditional stainless steel pan. A traditional stainless steel pan is more lightweight and nimble, and I can toss things and do stuff with it. And so in using this, it's a very popular pan, people love it, and I was realizing I don't love it because I was trying to think of it as a stainless steel pan, when really I look at it as a stainless steel version of a cast iron skillet. And so this I use when I want that heavy heat retention and being able to sear something and get a really good sear and then put a sauce in it, but I'm not having to worry about the seasoning and things like I would on the carbon steel or the cast iron. So this to me is kind of my replacement to a enameled skillet somewhat, because I'm basically using it for skillet purposes when I want to sear proteins and then make a reduction sauce out of it, but I get the benefit of a stainless steel pan that's almost as heavy as a cast iron. And so that for me is kind of, I use this as a cast iron in my cooking, but kind of a different material version of it. And that is what I have in my cast iron and cast iron-like products.